Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Malixian, and if you don't know about me by now, I do guitar covers on YouTube. I'm going to step out a little bit out of my box this time around for this. My last video was me setting up for an album review, which is coming. This is just this is just me getting my thoughts out and everything. So, like I just said, it's me I'm going to do something a little bit out of the box. I'm going to do not so much a review on something. I'm just going to get my thoughts out on a movie I just saw. The last time I did this was maybe a year or two ago. I can't remember this. And the last one was Little Mermaid. So I do have a little bit of catching up to do. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So I just came back from seeing the new Transformers movie, The Age of Extinction, with a bunch of buddies of mine. It does have a few problems. I'll give it that. But as far as I'm told, it's not as bad as the Pink Floyd named Transformer movie. I have never seen that movie. I have not seen the third movie. I don't even know what the hell it's called. I think it's like Dark Side of the Moon or something Dark and Moon. I don't know. Whatever. The most recent Transformers movie I have seen was Revenge of the Fallen. So I do have a little bit catching up to do, but from what I've heard, yeah, I guess this gives it a little bit of a pass, so let's go into this. Alright, just an added caution, if you plan on seeing the movie in theaters, this is a spoiler alert, so don't watch the video until you've seen the movie, or unless you don't plan on seeing the movie at all, which, up to you. I'm not your fucking judge. Let me start off by saying, I might be the only one saying this, but the redesigns on the fucking Autobots and pretty much all the Transformers, the redesigns on them are fucking awesome. I love the new designs on them. In comparison, I do love the old nostalgic look from the last three movies. I love the nostalgic look of the Transformers, but the newer, like, more upgraded, not upgraded, more revised look on them looks fucking awesome. They look awesome. And I just said awesome a lot more than I should have, so let's continue with that. At this point in time, like, shouldn't the people be more, like, alert about these kind of cars, like, and not just cars, these kind of robots? I mean, seriously, like, there's been news spreading all over, especially about the fucking war in Chicago that they had in the last movie, which like I mentioned before, never saw. That was one of the biggest stories, and this is 5 years after that. So that I know some people do forget news stories about five years period gap, but seriously, you should be more concerned about this. One, this is a major thing. Two, you have proof that aliens exist, and aliens exist and pretty much made of metal, and they can disguise themselves as cars. So you could be cautious about that. Three, again, all over the news. It's probably one of the biggest headlines and everything. Not only just in like New York and not only just in New York and Chicago, and I think this was in Texas. Texas and Chicago. But this is just going out towards the entire world at this point. Like, shouldn't you know better than to endlessly drive through? Granted, you're not going to suspect every car being a Transformer, but you should know when one fucking starts transmorphing, like, move the fuck out of the way so you don't get hit and we're thrown around. So there's this fight between Galvatron, Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and some pink car I've never caught the name of. If you want to put the name down in the comment section, go right ahead. But it's not going to help justify the point that this movie does have a lot of flaws in it. So in these kind of movies, the fucking main characters, the human characters, let me rephrase that, should be dead like 30, 40, 60, 80 times over. Like, there's like one point where, obviously, Michael Bay's slow-mo cam, like, Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, like, juggle the fucking, like, just juggle these humans over like they're fucking apples or something like that. And they go smashing through, like, a semi. Granted, I'm not a science student or how much metal you have to go through, but at this point, like, they should be fucking dead. But you know what? These are the main characters. Why just give them a pass? At the beginning, actually, to be honest with you, the first 45 minutes bored the fuck out of me. I'm not just saying that because I'm just a tired old fuck, but it's just the way it was set up. It was boring. Like, I'm granted, I do care for exposition. I do care for do care to get a little bit of backstory, but you know, you can make it a little bit more interesting. You don't have to be fucking like cut out characters and like have them fucking prancing around. These are just becoming stereotypes at this point. You should try something new. Like, granted, you may not be, well, I'm not going to say you're not going to be a visionary. You're not a visionary director. You did create these fucking billion dollar movies. But, come on, give your characters a little bit more, lack of a better term, character. Give these people more backstory. Like, something that is not a carbon cutout of something. But, I think the times I started really paying attention during the movie, like the only times I found this did have some story to it, was there was one point in the movie where, and I found this interesting for a Transformer movie, where where there's this organization called KSI, I think, or KS, not K, no, it's like KIS or KSI, whatever. They got the information, they got the head of Megatron after the war in Chicago, and they've been siphoning they've been siphoning information through it, and I think it was brains or the small Decepticon thing in the first movie that's a recurring character in all the Transformer movies. It's been decoding all of the information, and they use the information to like manufacture and like recreate Autobots. Transformers in general. I found that fucking interesting. Don't get me wrong, it still sucks, but you know what? It's a lot more interesting than a lot of the other fucking stuff in the other movies. But you know what? They kind of dropped it a little bit. Well, they didn't drop it, but it's like the only thing that they dropped really was the beginning of the movie. There was an entire story behind Blackout being like hunting down I think Autobots or Transformers in general. No, it was Autobots, and pretty much just taking their sparks, like trying to find where Optimus Prime is. He's hunting it. Granted, I wasn't a big fan of that storyline, but you know what? The second one was a lot more interesting because it was fleshed out a lot. Well, it wasn't fleshed out, but it was more apparent, and it was more like, I don't know, caught my ears and my eye a lot more. So Galvatron became a fucking MacGuffin. Like, don't get me wrong, Galvatron is like a fucking corrupted prototype of this organization, and just like being fed all the memories of and the not the memories, all the information from Megatron's fucking brain, turned it and corrupted him. And when they were experimenting him, like they were trying to control these Decepticons or these new breed of Transformers. He corrupted one of the systems from Galvatron was the name of it, and he corrupted the system. And that's what I thought was interesting. I figure, like, you know, Galvatron almost Megatron incarnate, so I'd imagine like it'd be a carbon comp. It would be fucking stereotypical for Optimus Prime to fight Megatron. But you know what? That's what Transformers is. It's the Autobots versus Decepticons. Red versus blue. Optimus Prime versus Megatron. I was expecting that. But you know what? He turned out to be a MacGuffin in the end. Like, there was so much build-up behind him. Even towards the end of the movie, like, he becomes this, like, superpower in some cases. He's controlling, like, 50 other Transformers, and, like, he's running amok through fucking Beijing, Hong Kong, and all just for him to get forgotten on the side. It sucks, but you know what? They made it up a little bit, because you can, like, there's already been 3 movies where Optimus Prime fought Megatron, and I think the last one Megatron died in like a minute or 2 flat. But they swapped out Megatron's character for Blackout's character with the final fight, which is fucking awesome. This movie, well, Granted, the Transformer movies are pretty much stereotypical now. You're going to see Transformers, like, what do you expect? You're expecting robots that transform into cars and shit blowing up. That's pretty much it. But you know what? They attempted a story here. And I'll give them props for that. The Dinobots were fucking awesome. I'm gonna leave it at that. The romance plotline, which was kind of forced, in my opinion, it was probably one of the most forced things in the movie. Like, you just, like, granted, it was hinted at in the in one of the beginning parts of the movie where I was like dozing off. I was in my seat just dozing off, but you know what? It was pretty forced. It was brutally forced. Like, the first time you meet him is on a Skype call with the girl, the main girl in the movie. But you know what? Like, she has no personality outside of a fucking paper bag of shit. I'm being brutally honest. This girl, her character is like so carbon copy. There's no soul behind her. Like, but then again, what kind of person wants to go see a Transformer movies where people develop their characters? You know what? It's Michael Bay for you. Anyways, this fucking, like, romance plot line. So we meet the guy. Well, we finally see the guy in action once he fucking saves them from I think the FBI came trying to look for Optimus. I don't know how the fuck you can hide a goddamn gigantic robot in the underneath of your barn. I don't know how the fuck the foundation works on that, but I'm no fucking architect. Anyways, moving on from that, we see this guy finally, and automatically, he's the boyfriend. Okay, whatever. He had to come in at one point, because you can't have just Mark Wahlberg and the girl just being the main people. You need a fucking hot guy in the mix. But he's no different. He does nothing in the fucking movie, really. Like, honestly, for a good hour and a half, maybe even more, what does he do? The only one characteristic he drives. That's it. He makes his living as a driver. That's it. Okay, mind you, we got a car chase with him, but he has no personality outside of that. And he's a complete pussy. Oh yeah. The ammunition thing is fucked up. So, like, what I mean is, there's at one point where Mark Hamill, I would love to see fucking Mark Hamill in these movies, which he'll never do. But Mark Wahlberg, he has this kind of like this sword gun thing. Not a gun sword, but like a legit sword turned gun. Like something fucking Final Fantasy would do. I don't want to prey off of alien technology, but really, is that thing of unlimited ammo? Granted, at one point during the fucking movie, what was it? I think it was Hound or whatever his name is, the one with the Autobot with the beard. He said he mentions he's running out and he's out of bullets. And so I'm curious as to how this fucking system with with ammunition and everything works. Makes no fucking sense to me. If you're actually watching this and you haven't seen the movie, and you want to, here's a little funny thing. During the fight with Blackout and Optimus Prime, towards the end of the movie, there's a part where there's a part in the movie where Mark Wahlberg is shooting at Blackout, and Blackout fires back, and there's maybe a 2 millisecond shot, maybe even less, like maybe one second. That's more than what I said, but let's leave it at that. Like, and you think you see one of the crew members there, but it's so fast you can barely see it. Like, you can barely make it out what it is. But like, realistically, like, you can see the figure of him. It's a fucking human being. If you look closely enough. I tell you, like, I just gave up for like 45 minutes and props to the guy who does CinemaSins. You are fucking awesome. I just started to do CinemaSins through the entire movie, just looking on in my chair, yeah, that happened. What the fuck? Like, I just became cinema sin guy. I became cinema snob for, well, not the cinema snob, but I became a cinema snob for, I think, like, I don't know, 2 hours and 15 minutes. Oh yeah, by the way, this fucking movie is almost 3 hours long. And this thing had like 40 fucking endings. I didn't think Transformers would turn into the Return of the fucking King by faking us out like 30 times. When they find the medal, like, this isn't like during the movie, they find the medal and they give it a name when they were testing out everything. I think it was Transformeranium or something like that. It sounded like the most fucking made up thing in the world, and it is. Well, it is. Obviously, it's for the fucking movie, but you know, it sounds so shitty. Like, you couldn't think of anything else to call it except Transformeranium. You couldn't have called it, like... You could have just said Unobtainium. I'd give it... Okay, granted, it's a fake name. That's, like, the go-to name for, like, these kind of... For anything. When they can't find some kind of mineral, they can't determine the name of a mineral. And they want to just make it up for the movie. They call it, like, Unobtainium or... whatever it is. I think it is Unobtainium, but you could have just called it that. Why the fuck are you going Transformeranium? It sounds so stupid. Like, I don't even know what to say anymore. Anyways, I think I'm gonna leave it off there. I think I said more than I needed to on this movie. And now for a quick update, just so you guys are a little bit more in the loop. Summer's finally fucking here, and I could not be happier. I have no hair anymore. I don't know. People told me I look like Phil Anselmo with the beard and the shaved head, but I have never seen it. I don't know. You could be the judge on that, but regardless on that. Honestly, I did film the review. I did film my same anger review like I said I would. I edited everything together, and you know what happened? It looks like shit. Not saying like my video work is awful, because it is awesome. I am not being a selfish prick on that. Like the cameras are steady cameras. Like they're on a fucking tripod and everything, and they've been filming, so at least I have something. But it just turned out so bad. It turned out horrible. It turned out worse than, I don't know, Melvin, the brother of the Joker. Sorry, that was a direct shot, but you know what? I'll give him that. It was not Doug Walker's best fucking foot forward. And I didn't want to put that out. I didn't want to put a product I wasn't going to be happy with. So, in the midst of all this, I won't be putting out the Saint Anger review. But I will have clips of me screaming in that, because there was a lot of fucking screaming in that video. Like, I don't think I bitched about an album this much in my life. Except maybe Bullet for My Valentine's, but that's besides the point. So, in the midst of that, I'm not doing that review, but I will be doing a review in its place. Like, but I make no promises whether it's going to be a good album or a bad album. I'm still not sure which album I'm going to choose yet. Like, I've had a few albums in mind, like, but most of them were good albums. So I might do a positive review as my first review, but I will go to doing fucking shitty albums. Like, what I recently found, I found fucking Hanson. I don't know why. I found a fucking CD of Hanson. Anyways, that'll be mentioned in another fucking video, but regardless of the fact, I found that in my house. Maybe I'll give that a go at one point, but like I said, there is a review coming up, but I don't know when it will be out. I don't know when it'll be filmed, and most of all, I don't know what album I'm gonna do. I'm being perfectly honest. So anyways, thank you for listening to me bitch about Transformers Age of Extinction, and Age of Extinction is really not that bad a movie. I mean, yes, it has problems. No movie doesn't. But in comparison to other movies, like, I don't know, to be more recent, like I Frankenstein, this one was fucking better than that. Like, if you want to go a little bit more like old school, like this is better than. There's a lot of movies that were fucking shit that were released in theaters, like Master of Disguise, horrible. Fucking Good Boy, horrible. I'm drawing a blank, but you get the point. This was it was just passable. Like, it was definitely passable. It was, from what I heard, it's better than Dark of the Moon. I think that's it. Anyways, I talked too much. Videos are coming, I'll tell you that. There will be at least, at minimum, one video coming out in the summer. By the end of the summer, there will be at minimum one video. I don't know what the hell is going to happen by the end of the summer. I'm not a fucking fortune teller. Or I can't see in the fucking future. But I will guarantee there will be at least one video coming up. I am supposed to be doing, I'm working with one of my friends, Colin McAndrew, the guy who did a drum cover for the Devin Townsend project cover that we did a little while ago. I'm supposed to be doing another collaboration with him. He wanted to do a project together, so that should be coming out soon, hopefully. Until then, stay classy, guys, and I'll see you next time.